Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is episode 46 of Ladies First. I am your host, Amber Vickers. Yes, I am back. I am back, guys. I missed you guys so much. I haven't been on here since I think the second week of August. I want to say the second week of August was the last time I did a show. It is now the first week of September. I moved to Philadelphia, took a job in New Jersey, so I am now an East Coast gal. It has been quite an adjustment, but I want to send some prayers out to everybody on the East Coast that's dealing with flooding. In Philadelphia, Highway 767, no, 676, well, Highway 7, they call it 76. So Highway 76 flooded. I believe that runs east and west. So it runs east and west through Philadelphia, I think New York, Philadelphia. It runs east and west, I believe, or north and south. I'm not quite sure. I just moved here 2 weeks ago today, actually. So prayers out to everybody in Philadelphia. Prayers out to everybody in New York. New York is just a mess. I saw on Twitter that I think it was a rat or a mouse was just swimming in it, like just swimming, doing looked like it was doing a backstroke, but not really, just kind of floating in the water in the subway. So prayers out to everybody in New York as well. But I worked from home today. I've been Bob the Builder today. I've been building furniture all day long. I worked a couple hours from home, and then my furniture came this morning. Got done doing everything I need to do for work, and I still have furniture stuff in my hair. Goodness. Did everything I need to do for work, and I said, okay, I'm going to put this furniture together. So I put all my furniture together, and the apartment is coming along very nicely. But this is my setup until I buy a desk and a chair. Right now I'm using like this tray I got, and I'm sitting on my ottoman, and my TV is mounted up behind me. It's not on right now. You kind of see the lights glaring from the TV, but my setup will be hopefully different next week. If not next week, the week after, it'll be different. I'm going to see if IKEA has some desks I can put together and build and things like that. But I'm happy to be back. Adjusting to Philadelphia and New Jersey at the same time has been quite different. They live differently out here. Hurricane Ida came through New Orleans. We know that. We got the aftermath. So we got all the rain from Hurricane Ida. Prayers go out to everybody dealing with that hurricane as well down in New Orleans. And I think it's the surrounding areas of New Orleans that got hit the worst, because I think they said the New Orleans levees held up, but it's surrounding areas of New Orleans that just got hit the hardest. So I think the NFL has pledged $1 million, and Leonard Fournette pledged some money. Ryan Clark said he was going to do some things. Master P said he's going to do some things. All those guys are from that area. So prayers, oh my goodness, they're dealing with it again. I think Hurricane Katrina hit. This is close to the anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. So I think they were a little bit more prepared this time. I want to say they were, but the category changed, I think, within like 48 hours of it happening, Hurricane Ida. I think the category changed. It wasn't supposed to be that big, and then it got bigger as the hours waned. But now it's just the aftermath of dealing with Hurricane Ida. So prayers out to everybody on the East Coast, and prayers out to everybody down south, that southeastern portion of especially Louisiana, New Orleans, and those surrounding cities. I cannot pronounce those surrounding cities to save my life. I know the weathermen, they were talking about it on Twitter. The weathermen were trying to pronounce those cities, and they couldn't either. Unless you're from there, it's kind of like Oklahoma. Unless you're from there and you know how to pronounce it, you're going to butcher it unless you have some phonetics in front of you. And most newscasters have phonetics in front of them, so I'm not quite understanding. But yeah, it's been a crazy couple of weeks. A lot of things have happened. But there are two things I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about the WNBA, because boy, have things changed in a couple of weeks. We know that Seattle won the Commissioner's Cup. They look like a totally different team. Connecticut lost the Commissioner's Cup. They look like a totally different team. I mean, I wish I had Nick on here to help me out tonight, because so much has happened in the league. So much. Also, football is back, baby. Football is back. College football is back. College football game day they were on a HBCU campus last weekend. this weekend. I believe they're going to be on Clemson's campus. So football is back. WNBA is just shaking up. The rookie of the year has been pretty much determined in the WNBA. I'll talk about that. I don't want to do my awards yet. I'm going to wait for Nick to come on, and we're gonna talk about awards, because we talked about mid-season awards, but I want to we're kind of in that last little bit of push. So I want to talk about awards with him. So hopefully he can come back next week and we'll talk about WNBA basketball. And tonight we're going to talk about football. But I wanted to just say I'm back. I am back, and I've missed you guys so much. I miss streaming a lot, but I've been so busy. I was busy today. I was like, should I stream tonight? I was like, man, what the heck? I'm going to stream. Yeah, life's changed for me in the last 2 weeks dramatically, but I'm happy to be back. Count the Bucket will be back this weekend. I'll be back with Michael Lawson, my beautiful, beautiful co-host with the wonderful beard. I'll be back with him. Don't forget that Backstop Banter goes on after me. So it goes on an hour after me. So they go on around 10:15-ish Eastern. I should be off of here by 9 Eastern. So about an hour and 15 after me. Aaron, Business Casual Basketball, went on before me. He always has a great guest, great show. So I'm going to watch that show back because I was super busy today and I couldn't even fathom doing anything but what I was doing. But I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and we're going to talk some WNBA basketball. Oh, first, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I've been off. I forgot. Sponsors. Check out mybookie.ag. Use the code USN100 to double your first deposit. Now, I found this out when I started my new job. So if you guys don't know, I have a new job with NFL Films. I cannot bet on games anymore. I cannot do any betting on NFL games anymore. I can play in fantasy leagues, but I cannot bet. So every time I promote mybookie.ag, use the code USN100 to double your first deposit, I'm going to tell you guys that I can't bet on NFL games anymore. So I think I could do basketball games. I just can't do football because it's kind of a conflict of interest because I do work for the company. That was in my training, online training that I did. I was like, wow, I can't bet on football. And so, yes, I cannot bet on NFL games, but I haven't betted in a long time. And I liked it. I got into it, but then I didn't want to get too into it because it's money involved and I was trying to move and things like that. But now that I'm all moved out, you can't even see my hair. Looks like I don't have any hair, but my hair is up. As soon as I found myself doing it every day, I was like, Amber, you got to slow down. You got things you need to do. But you guys check it out, mybookie.ag. Use the code USN100 to double your first deposit. rxhemp.com. Warm and cool CBD cream. Yes, I haven't needed it yet because I haven't worked out yet since I've been here. I've done some walking around my neighborhood. My neighborhood is very walkable. I got to work out in today, putting together furniture and cleaning up the apartment and things like that. But check out rxhemp.com. Use the code rxhemp/USN to get 10% off your entire order. It's warm and cool cream, CBD cream. Pay attention to the dosage. It's made with all natural products as well. So you guys check that out. I'm going to do the last two sponsors at the end of the show. But let's get into it. WNBA. Wow. We got games tonight. How the tables have turned for two teams that played in the Commissioner's Cup. The Commissioner's Cup was August the 12th. That was the last time I did a show, I want to say. And I did the show. Then I watched the Commissioner's Cup. I think Nick and I did the show. We predicted the Commissioner's Cup. Our predictions was, well, I think did I pick Seattle and he picked Connecticut? I think I picked Seattle and he picked Connecticut. I don't know. I have to go back and watch. I don't remember. I've done so much since then. But we thought it was going to be a close score. It was not. But guess what? Those two teams are in totally different directions. Connecticut is the hottest team in the WNBA right now, and Seattle is on a slide. Connecticut now has the best record in the league right now. So we're going to take a look. We're going to take a look at some WNBA standings, and I'm going to show you guys what I mean. Let me share my screen. I don't want to be selfish. Oh, I miss my co-host. Oh, Michael, I miss you on Count the Bucket. All right. Here we go. We got 4 games tonight. Atlanta and Dallas, Los Angeles and Minnesota, Chicago and Vegas. Ooh, I'll be watching that game. I'll be up. Yes, I'll be up. New York and Seattle. Oh my goodness, Seattle. Can Seattle get off this little schneid, this little slide, whatever they're going through? Can they find themselves back on the winning side of things against New York? Now that Atlanta-Dallas game, for Atlanta, it doesn't mean much. For Dallas, it means a lot because they are fighting for a playoff spot. Los Angeles and Minnesota. I'm looking at Vegas. Los Angeles and Minnesota. Minnesota has clinched a playoff spot. The Sparks are trying to find their way into the playoffs. We're going to look at the standings and see if they can fight their way into the playoffs. But Minnesota's already clinched. Now it's all about seeding for Minnesota. Chicago and Vegas, these two teams, well, Chicago will clinch. They will make it in the playoffs. I believe that. They beat Seattle back-to-back. We'll talk about that as well. Las Vegas, interesting team. They have clinched, and they're fighting for seeding. New York and Seattle, two teams that are struggling right now. So these are two teams that need a win. Seattle has already made it to the playoffs. They're your Commissioner Cup champions as well. New York, who I believe has the Rookie of the Year. We'll talk about that. They were doing pretty well, but Phoenix got hot. We're going to talk about Phoenix too. Phoenix and Connecticut, two hottest teams in the league right now. Phoenix got hot, and New York got cold. And that didn't bode well for them because Chicago looks like they're back in the swing of things with Candace Parker back healthy. And Phoenix is Phoenix, and then Minnesota keeps winning. So New York has taken a little slide. Now let's look at the standings. Oh, they have playoff clinching scenarios. We'll just look at that. That'll make it easy. Oh boy. Okay, we're going to start from the beginning. Seattle clinched the playoffs with the win on August 22nd. I'm going to see if they won August 22nd. I think they did. Vegas clinches a playoff spot win, and Connecticut clinches a playoff spot with the win on the 24th. 25th, Vegas clinches a playoff spot win with the New York loss. All these things have happened. No possible scenarios on the 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, or 30th. The 31st, Phoenix did this. Clinches a playoff spot win or with losses by New York and Los Angeles. Today the second or the third? Today the second or the third? Today's the second. Okay. Chicago clinches a playoff spot with the win with losses by LA and New York. Let me make sure I read that right. Everything's running together. So if Chicago beats Vegas, the Sparks get beat by the Lynx. And if New York loses to Seattle, Chicago is in. Okay, so Chicago needs 3 things to happen, right? Okay, let's look at the standings. All right, here we go. 5 teams have already clinched. Connecticut, Vegas, Seattle, Minnesota, Phoenix. Phoenix, Connecticut, 2 hottest teams right now in the W. 9 wins, 7 wins, respectively. Seattle, 3 losses in a row. Minnesota, 3 wins in a row. Vegas, 2 wins in a row. Chicago just lost their last game, but they beat Seattle before that twice. Then you got Dallas right after Chicago. Then you got the New York Liberty, the Washington Mystics, who are off today. Los Angeles, Indiana, which Indiana's been playing pretty well, in Atlanta. Atlanta's going to mess around and have the number 1 pick next year. I'm trying to think of who that's going to be. You guys will know, of course, because I'll talk about NCAA basketball. But Minnesota, I think, will beat Los Angeles tonight. We don't know. We're just going to say that everything happens right and Chicago clinches a spot. Now everybody's going to be jockeying for position. Do I think Chicago will lose that spot? No. I think they will be, because I think the first 2 teams get a double bye. The next 2 teams get a bye. And I think 5 plays 8, 6 plays 7. I think that's how it goes. We're going to have to look at the playoff bracket, because last year it was crazy, and I think they're doing the same thing this year, but I'm not quite sure. So 5 of those teams have clinched. Like I said, Connecticut, hottest team in the WNBA right now. Next hottest team in WNBA right now is Phoenix. I don't know what has gotten into Phoenix. Brittany Griner missed a couple of games because her coach left her in when they were beating the brakes off New York with about a minute and a half left in the fourth quarter, and she rolled her ankle. Missed a couple of games, didn't miss a beat. Skylar Diggins-Smith, yes, Skylar Diggins-Smith. I wonder if you can put her in. I don't think it's too late for the MVP push. I think Jacquel Jones is probably going to wrap that up. I think it's too late for an MVP push for her. But can she be in the running for most improved? I'm going to have to look at her numbers from last year to this year. But I think she can be in the running for most improved. Now, people might get on my head because they think Brianna Jones from the Connecticut Sun should be the clear-cut winner. I get that. But Diana Taurasi's been in and out the lineup with injury. Brittany Griner's been kind of dealing with an injury, and Skylar Diggins-Smith has been that one constant for the Phoenix Mercury. They have a big 3 in Phoenix. They do. I would not want to play them right now. There are 3 teams I would not want to play right now: Connecticut, Phoenix, and Minnesota. I would not want to play those 3 teams right now. Cheryl Reeves just puts lineups together, and they're getting healthy. They got AP back, which is Aerial Powers. They got her back. So she was going to be a key contributor for them. She can average 15 points a game easily for Minnesota. Let's take a look at Minnesota real quick. They do have the player of the month in Sylvia Fowles. She has been balling out. Man, she's been balling out. Sylvia Fowles has been balling. Let me look. Let's see what I want to do. Okay, let's look. I need a box score. Here we go. No. I got new Wi-Fi, guys. I have new Wi-Fi. All right. So, Aerial Powers is back. Dances is back. Wnba is back. Natalie Wnba is back. So they got some key players that are back for them that have been missing. Clarendon's been playing well. Kelly McBride's going to do her thing. Sylvia Fowles, like I said, player of the month. Nafisha Collier had a double-double the other night, and Dances is back. So they're humming. They're humming on all cylinders right now. That's why I would not want to play Minnesota, because it seems like whatever lineup that Cheryl Reeve puts out there, they produce. It doesn't matter who's on the floor for her. They're going to play hard for her, and that is scary. That is scary. Minnesota's a team right now that everybody thought they would be. Another team I wouldn't want to play because I think they're catching their stride is Chicago. Now, we know Chicago dealt with injuries. Stephanie Dolson was out for a period of time. Allie Quigley was out for a period of a long time. And so was Candace Parker. When those players were humming at the beginning of the season, they were humming. And then, boom, injuries. They hit that skid. They came back, and they looked so strong. They looked very strong. I don't want to see Candace Parker in the playoffs. I don't want to see Chicago in the playoffs. Kalea Copper, I think could be in the most improved as well conversation. Like I said, a lot of people think Brianna Jones has that pretty much locked up for the Connecticut Sun, which is probably true, but I like Kalea Copper. I really do. She held it down when Candace Parker was out. Her and Vandersloot really stepped up real big. So let's see who Connecticut has left. We're going to look at their schedule. Oh, I could have just looked right there. Let's see. So Connecticut has, they don't play until the 7th. They get a nice little break. They have Dallas, Los Angeles, Phoenix. That's going to be a good game. New York and Atlanta. They have 4 games left. 2 on the road. Well, no, 3 on the road and 2 at home. Well, 5 games left, excuse me. 3 on the road, 2 at home. Call me crazy. I think they sweep this. Dallas needs that win. I think Phoenix needs that win as well. New York needs that win. Los Angeles needs to win too. Only team that doesn't really need a win is Atlanta on this schedule. I think Los Angeles can try to make a push for that AC. It's going to be very difficult, but they could try to make that push. But Connecticut is looking like a different team right now. So I think they go 4-1 in that stretch. All right, now let's look at the next hottest team. Let's look at Phoenix. Let's see what Phoenix has in front of them. I know they made the playoffs. Congratulations. Skylar Diggins has been balling her butt off. All right. Phoenix has, all right, they have Indiana. Indiana's playing better. They're playing better. They have Indiana back-to-back in Indiana. So they're going to be in Indiana from probably the 3rd of September, probably from tomorrow all the way up until the 7th. And then they have to play Atlanta. So they'll go from Indiana to Atlanta. So that's like a little road trip, little East Coast swing. And then they're back home against Connecticut. On the road to Seattle. That's a 6-day rest. Well, it makes sense after that little road trip they're going to take. And then home against Las Vegas. Their schedule is brutal at the last three games. You get Connecticut, you get Seattle, and you get Las Vegas. Congratulations, Phoenix. Okay, I think Phoenix goes, I think they lose 2 games. I think they go 4-2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have 6 games left. Connecticut has 5. I think they go 4-2. Yeah, they beat the brakes off Chicago. They're just hot right now. I mean, Skylar Diggins-Smith is playing out of her mind right now. Okay, Seattle, can you get off the schneid? Let's look at Seattle's schedule. I just really want them to get it together. I think they'll get a win against New York tonight, but we'll see. All right. Let's see. Okay, let's see who they have. All right, they got 4 games left. They got New York tonight. They got Washington, Los Angeles, and Phoenix. I say they go 3. They could go 4-0 possibly, but I think they could go either 4-0 or 3-1. So I'm going to call 4-0 or 3-1. I think that Phoenix game, they're going to run into a really hot Phoenix Mercury team. And the WNBA playoffs is almost here. Guys, it's September. I can't get over it being September already. I just cannot get over that. But I say either 4-0 or 3-1 with those games. Washington and New York need these wins bad. So does Los Angeles. But I think Seattle wants to kind of get their feet back up underneath them. Let me see. How many games have they lost since the Commissioner's Cup? They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are 2-5 since the Commissioner's Cup. Wow. Yeah, we were all wrong about that score. They are Nick and I, they are 2-5 since the Commissioner's Cup. Yeah, they gotta. I'll just go out on a limb and say it. They'll go 4-0. I just don't see. They'll go 4-0. I'll call it 4-0. I said 3-1, but I think they'll go 4-0. All right. I want to look at Chicago's schedule as well. That's the last schedule I'm going to look at. See what kind of push they can make. All right. Chicago's schedule looks like this. Vegas tonight, Vegas at home, Washington, Vegas again, and Indiana. Whew. Okay. I'll say Chicago goes 5-1 because I think they'll split these games. Well, I say they'll go 2-1 against the Aces and then win the next 3, excuse me. So they'll go 5-1. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 5. 4-1, excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They'll go 4-1. I don't know why I'm thinking 6. They will go 4-1. I'm gonna call that 4-1. They'll go 4-1 because I think they'll win 2 against Vegas and lose 1, beat Washington and beat Indiana. So 4-1. That's good. 4-1. All right, now let's take a look at some news. Let's look and see who's still leading scores and things like that. I know Tina Charles is probably still leading scorer. Yeah. All right, here are your top 10 scorers in the WNBA. Tina Charles, Brittany Griner, Jonquil Jones, Brianna Stewart, Skylar Diggins-Smith. She's been hot. Arike, Asia Wilson, Jewel Lloyd, Banaja Laney, and Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell's been playing very well for Indiana. All right. Coach of the month, of course, is Kurt Miller. Got the best team in the WNBA right now. Rookie of the month, Michaela Onyenwere. I think we should just give her the Rookie of the Year. She's been Rookie of the Month, June, July, and August. Just give it to her. All right. Players of the month, Jonquil Jones out of the Eastern Conference. Of course, you guys know they'll get rid of the conferences when they go into playoffs. And Sylvia Fowles in the Western Conference. She's been balling out for Minnesota. Jonquil Jones, of course, plays for Connecticut. Rebounds, Jonquil Jones. She's averaging a double-double. Sylvia Fowles is averaging a double-double. Brianna Stewart, Tina Charles, Brittany Griner, Brianna Turner, Tiara McCowan, Asia Wilson, Liz Cambage. I think she's out with COVID. And Breonna Jones. All right. Assist leaders. Courtney Vandersloot, Natasha Cloud's been playing very well for Washington. Chelsea Gray, Sabrina, Sue Bird, Laisha Clarendon, Skylar Diggins-Smith, Banaja Laney, Erica Wheeler. She's been playing very well. And Jasmine Thomas. Jasmine Thomas has been scoring the basketball. I remember she used to score at Duke. She's been scoring the basketball a lot better as of late. And so has Natasha Cloud, as of late, been scoring the basketball very well. All right, guys. Yes, Amber is back. Thank you, Perry. I appreciate the love. I am back. Yes, I'm super happy to be back. Super duper happy. All right, guys, that's all I have for the WNBA. Next week, I'm going to dive in it even more because I'll have Nick on here with me. We love talking about WNBA basketball. I'll jump all over the WNBA next week. We're going to probably we'll probably talk about, our MVPs, 6 Man of the Years, Most Improved Coach of the Year, things like that. Playoff scenarios and matchups. We'll talk about that. So all week will probably be WNBA talk. I want to mix some college football in there. The Cowboys and Buccaneers play next week as well, next Thursday. Of course, my Sooner boys play this week. Tulane will now be coming to Norman this Saturday. A lot of good college football matchups. I'll probably talk a little bit about that. I'm not sure how much college football Nick watches. I'm not sure. So if he watches some college football, I'll reach out to him and see how much college football he actually watches. If he watches some, we'll talk about that at the end. But of course, this is ladies first, so we talk about the ladies first. All right, let's go. Football is back, baby. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you guys are excited as I am about football being back, but I'm ecstatic. It seems like the Bucs just won the Super Bowl. Doesn't it? Doesn't it feel like that? It just seems like the Sooners just beat the Florida Gators too. It seems like that. It seems like we just watched the college football playoff and had all that controversy. That's what it seems like. But it's back. It's back. My Sooner boys, I think, are number 2 in the AP poll. I think Bama is 1. I really want to see the freshman quarterback from Ohio State play tonight. I'm going to be watching that game. They play against Minnesota. I'm going to get off of here and watch that game in a minute. It started at 8 o'clock. How do we feel about football being back? Here's my deal about the NCAA. I'll go NCAA first. I'll talk NFL next. All these sponsorships these young men and women are getting makes my heart warm. I know how hard they work on and off the field, and they starve. A lot of them are starving athletes. A lot of them are endorsing products, companies not getting paid. But all that has changed. I've talked about this before, but I'm even more excited about it since college football is back. I'm even more excited for these young athletes, young men and women to get paid to sponsor something and to endorse something. Nebraska played Illinois last week. Guess who Nebraska plays this season? OU. Guess how many points Nebraska scored? Let me look. I know Illinois won, but let me look and see how many points Nebraska scored against Illinois. Yeah. And they have to play OU. They scored 22 points. So the score was 30-22, and they struggled. They struggled mightily. Let me share this screen with you guys so you guys can see what I see for the ESPN app. So Nebraska played last week, played Illinois. They're going to have their hands full with OU if they gave up 30 to Illinois. UConn and Fresno State played. Fresno State won that one. UCLA jumped all over Hawaii. UTEP jumped all over New Mexico State. And Southern Utah jumped all over San Jose State. There really wasn't any good games last week. UAB just beat Jacksonville State very badly. Right now, we got a lot of games that are live. I hope you guys can see this. ESPN Plus, ESPN, ESPN Plus, ESPN3, Pac-12 Network, the ACC Network, ESPNU, ESPN Plus, Fox, which is what I'm getting ready to watch. The SEC Network, ESPN Plus, and ESPN3 all have games. So if you're bored on a Thursday night, number 24 is in action. The Utah Utes against Wnba State. Shout out to Damian Lillard. Coastal Carolinas and one of the hottest teams from last year is in action right now. Number 22. Number 4, Ohio State is in action right now against Minnesota. Tulsa Hurricanes are in action right now. I say Tulsa because I'm from Oklahoma. And Tulsa is in Oklahoma. Arizona State will be in action tonight. They're number 25. So you got some ranked teams that are in action on a Thursday night. So you guys can go check those out. Tomorrow, we get North Carolina number 10. Sam Howell, Heisman hopeful. I thought he would come out this year, but he decided to come back. So Sam Howell's Heisman hopeful. He plays against Virginia Tech. Shane Beamer is now their coach. They took him away from us at the University of Oklahoma. So Shane, we just wish you the best of luck. We got Duke and Charlotte, Old Dominion and Wake Forest, St. Francis and Eastern Michigan. Shout out to Tony Romo. South Dakota and Kansas. Kansas got some new fire uniforms. Can they get some wins this season? Michigan State, Northwestern. That's going to be a good game. Big Ten matchup. Northern Colorado and Colorado in-state matchup. San Diego State and Colorado State. So all these games are streamable on TV, FS1, Pac-12, ESPN, Big 12/ESPN Plus, ESPN3, ACC Network, Sports, CBS Sports Network, and ESPN. So the game I'll probably watch, the two games I'll watch for sure. I'll watch North Carolina and Virginia Tech, and I'll watch Michigan State and Northwestern. Northwestern did go to the Big Ten Championship last year, guys. If you guys don't remember, they did go to the Big Ten Championship. Saturday will be full of football. Do you hear me? Full of football. Starting with my Sooner boys. Now, this is a home game for Tulane because of the hurricane, but it's really a home game for OU. So we don't mind sharing. So Tulane, OU is supposed to be at Tulane, but they're playing in Norman. Penn State, Wisconsin. That's going to be a great one. Use Louisiana Monroe and Kentucky. Colgate, Boston College. Western Michigan and Michigan. This could be a trap game for Michigan. Be careful. Temple's in Philadelphia and Rutgers. Holy Cross and UConn. Stanford, Kansas State. Ooh, that's going to be down in Dallas. Army, Georgia State. Fordham, Nebraska. Let's see if Nebraska can beat Fordham. Fresno State and Oregon. Be careful, Oregon. This could be a trap game. Rice and Arkansas. Lafayette Air Force. Bama and Miami. Is the U back? We're going to see. I wonder where, okay, it said Atlanta. I'm going to say, I wonder where that game got moved to, but it's in Atlanta. Miami of Ohio, Cincinnati. Cincinnati, can you make a bid to be a top 4 team this season and get into the college football playoff? So close last year. Indiana and Iowa, that's going to be a good game. Marshall and Navy, West Virginia, Maryland, Louisiana Tech, Mississippi State, Central Michigan, Missouri, UMass, Pittsburgh, Montana State, Wyoming, Northern Iowa, Iowa State. Be careful, Iowa State. That could be a trap game. You did lose your first game of the season last year, I believe. The Raging Cajuns, I love that. I love it. Louisiana against Texas. Texas, be careful. They were very good last year. San Jose State, USC. USC, be careful. Campbell, Liberty, Gardner-Webb, Georgia Southern, Akron, Auburn. I'm not going to name all these games. Let me see if it's a matchup that I want to look forward to. Texas Tech and Houston could be interesting. It's a Big 12. Oh, Georgia and Clemson will be the nightcap in Charlotte. I think that's where game day is going to be. Florida Atlantic against Florida in state. Any other? LSU at UCLA. LSU. Let's see. I wonder who LSU starting quarterback is. I should know this. I'll know by next week. I'll tell you that dang much. So they're going all the way out to Cali. I wonder if they can pull that off. At the night matchup, we have another night matchup. Sunday night matchup. We have Notre Dame and Florida State. Ooh, is Florida State back? Caleb, are your Seminoles back? RIP to Bobby Bowden. Coach Bowden passed away not too long ago, so I just want to send my prayers and condolences to his family as well. Then we got Louisville and Ole Miss, the night game on Labor Day. So much football, guys. And if you're as excited as I am, oh man, I can't wait. I literally cannot wait. Hello, Matt. How are you doing? I'm sorry I was sharing my screen. I couldn't see your comment, but I see it now. How's the move? The move is coming along. I put together furniture all day today. Pretty much that was my evening after I got done working from home. I put together furniture for the most part. Now the apartment is pretty put together. This is my setup for now, but I will change my setup once I play Build-A-Bob again from IKEA. So I am adjusting. The East Coast is a lot more different than the Midwest and the South. This is where I want it to be, though. I want it to be East or West, so I'm adjusting. But thank you, Matt, Spicy Queso, Wise Cheese, for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Last but not least, we're going to talk about the NFL. Now, there's been a lot going on in the NFL. There's been so much going on in the NFL that I just cannot keep up with it. I've been so busy with everything. So Twitter has been my friend for the most part when it comes to NFL news. The NFL has been it's been a little shaky. I'm at work. An upset to happen this weekend. I'll answer that, Matt. I'll answer that. I was at work and I work for the NFL. So the NFL network is on every TV in the office, right? I turn and look around behind me because the TV is behind me in my office, just like this. Cam Newton is released. Huh? What? Cam Newton got released? Mac Jones? It's your time to step up. I kind of saw it coming because they drafted Mac Jones. Cam had an up and down season in that Belichick system. Granted, he didn't have the weapons around him. Then you draft Mac Jones. And then Cam Newton has the COVID thing. And Belichick said, we didn't cut him because of COVID. Okay. There's a lot that I can go into about the Cam Newton situation. I just choose not to. I think there's more behind it that we'll never know. New England is so hush-hush about everything they do. You'll never know. Brady sold his house in New England, and next thing we knew, he was a Buccaneer. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like that. Nobody reported it. Nobody said he was leaving the Patriots. It was just like, oh, okay, now you're playing under Bruce Arians and Byron Leftwich, which is going to be your offensive coordinator. And you got all the weapons in the world in Tampa Bay. Look at the numbers Jameis was putting up with all those interceptions. And their defense was pretty solid, but it got a lot better. Okay. Brady's in the NFC now. All right. So New England is very hush-hush about what goes on in their camp. And I don't blame them, but I think there's more to that Cameron Newton story than we will ever know. And I'm going to stick by that. I'm not going to go into it, but I'm going to stick by that and keep that in my head. So Mac Jones, you got the keys to the city. 3, Alabama starting quarterbacks starting this weekend. 2 in the AFC West. 2 play against each other. New England and Miami play against each other. You got Tua Tagovailoa, got Mac Jones. Of course, Jalen Hurts, my boy. Jalen Hurts. Yes, I live in Philadelphia. Yes, he went to the University of Oklahoma. Yes, he played under Nick Saban first before going to Lincoln Riley and OU. Yes, he plays for the Eagles. All those things can be true, right? At the same time. Multiple things can be true at the same time. So I do believe that this is the first time New England started a rookie quarterback in I don't know how long, but they gave him the keys and they said, here you go. Cam got released, wasn't even put on the roster as a backup, just got released. I thought the Cowboys would get him, but they ended up signing Will Grier. He played in the Big 12, so I know Will Grier very well. Okay. I think the Cowboys backup is Cooper Rush. Would I like Cam to be the Cowboys backup? Yeah. Better than Cooper Rush? Yeah. But, Jerry wants all his players to be vaccinated. I won't get into that because your choice is your choice. Hey, do what you do. I respect people's choices. I don't judge people for the choices they make. But just know the choices you make do have consequences. But yeah, that's the NFL. A lot's been happening. I see it all at work. I want to say something. Nate Burleson has moved on from, if you watch Football in the Morning on NFL Network, he has moved on to CBS. So shout out to you, Nate Burleson, for moving on to CBS and moving on to bigger and better things for your career. Let me answer this question from Matt. Any upsets happening this weekend? I think that LSU-UCLA game can be a trap game for LSU. A, they're going all the way out to the Rose Bowl, going to the West Coast. And B, UCLA didn't look bad. I know they played against Hawaii. But I expect Dorian Thompson to have a better season this season. And I'm not quite sure who LSU's quarterback is. Do I think Bama gets upset by – who does Bama play? Let me see. Let me go back to the schedule, Matt, and look at it. Come on. Let's see. Come on, Wi-Fi. You can do it. Come on. Okay. Let me look at this schedule. I think North Carolina should watch out for Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech is a difficult place to play. Where is that game? Bama and Miami. You know what? I don't think Bama gets upset by Miami. I think it might be a good game, though. Derek King will be another season in that offense. So I think he will play well. New quarterback at Bama. So could experience a quarterback play a factor? Yes. Is it Bama? Yes. I think they're playing on a neutral site, though. Let me go ahead and look. Yeah, they're playing in Atlanta. So it's a neutral site. That could be a really interesting game. But look, the biggest upset alert I would have would be LSU at UCLA. Also, I don't know if this will be an upset. The Raging Cajuns of Louisiana against Texas. Texas is starting a freshman quarterback. Oh boy. They are playing at home, so that helps. But the Raging Cajuns are back with the vengeance this season, I believe. So those are the only upsets I can see. I don't necessarily see Notre Dame losing to Florida State. Caleb, I'm sorry. I don't necessarily see that, but I think that could be a good game because they are playing at Florida State. But this is the matchup I'm looking forward to the most. LSU and UCLA. I want to see how UCLA responds after that win against Hawaii, and LSU had a disappointing season last season. Stingley is back, so that could be good. Can Georgia beat Clemson? I don't think so. I don't see that happening. I don't see Dabo losing at home to Georgia. I just don't see it. But upset alert, Texas, LSU, and let me spice it up. Texas, LSU, and Michigan. Let me spice it up. Western Michigan could upset Michigan. I'm going to spice it up a little bit. So Matt, what are your upsets? And also, I'm not sure if you talked about this earlier, but what are your thoughts as soon as being ranked number 2? I like being ranked number 2. Spencer Rattler will be top 5. He'd be top 3 in Heisman voting this season if he doesn't get it. Another year in that offense. The defense is getting better every single season, and that is scary. If the defense catches up to the offense, there's no way we'll get beat. We can make a national championship run. I do think this season is our best shot at a national title, even though we have another number 1 quarterback waiting in the wings after Spencer Rattler. But I do think that if OU were to win it this season, it would not surprise a lot of people because Alex Grinch, year 3 of that defense for Alex Grinch, I believe. This is year 3. Spencer Rattler, year 2. You saw how much improvement he made from week 1, progressing all the way up into the game against Florida, the bowl game against Florida. The only thing I think stands in our way is Iowa State. The Cyclones. The Iowa State Cyclones, that program, what they've been able to do in that program, Matt Campbell, I think, is their coach, has been amazing. Has been amazing. I think that's Iowa State's coach. Let me make sure. Iowa, I don't want to be wrong. Iowa State football head coach. It's Matt Campbell. Yep, his name is Matt Campbell. I knew I was right. Yeah, so Matt Campbell has turned that around. Only upset I could see is Texas losing to the Cajuns. That's one of the picks I had. That's one of the picks I had when I first saw it on the schedule. I saw that on the schedule before I saw LSU and UCLA. That's another upset I could have too, possibly. But yeah, it's going to be some upsets. There are going to be some upsets. Fans are allowed back in the stadiums now. Woohoo! So they could play a factor. I think Florida State will come out with a chip on their shoulder against Notre Dame on Sunday night. I think Miami will play very, very well against Bama there in Atlanta on Saturday afternoon. There's going to be some good games. I think Virginia Tech could hit North Carolina in their mouth and surprise them. North Carolina has some bad losses last year, so we're going to see what they can do. They got a new coach. I think Shane Beamer is their head coach. They took him away from us in Norman. So, yeah, that's the biggest upset I could see. Besides UCLA beating LSU, but UCLA is at home, and they're coming off their great win against Hawaii. But OU being number 2, I like it. I like it a lot because the offense, we know what the offense can do. The defense is coming along. Like I said, I think this is Alex Grinch's either 3rd or 4th year under Lincoln Riley in that defense. So he's getting the players he wants to get, putting them in great situations. That our defensive line, Nick Benito, will probably be a first-round pick next year. And I'm super excited. I'm so pumped for Chris Fowler and Kurt for Saturday Night Football. Yeah, Georgia and Clemson. That game is going to be very good. Who is Georgia's starting quarterback? I'm trying to think. Who is their starting quarterback? I know who Clemson's starting quarterback is. I cannot pronounce his last name to save my life. I cannot pronounce his last name at all. But I know who their starting quarterback is. I'm not sure who Georgia's starting quarterback is or LSU's starting quarterback. Texas' starting quarterback is a freshman. So I wonder why Casey Thompson, JT Daniels. That's right. The transfer. That is right. Georgia's transfer portal has to be ridiculous. They get transfers in and out. Guys, remember, Justin Fields was at Georgia. If you guys do not remember that, he was at Georgia before he transferred to Ohio State. All right, guys, that is it for today's show. Next week will be a lot of WNBA talk because I'll have Nick and it's Max Johnson for LSU. Okay, Max Johnson. Okay. I wasn't quite sure who their starting quarterback was, because last year it was just a mess. Ed Ogeron just could not figure out who could run the offense last year. LSU. Chase didn't play. Jamar Chase didn't play. Stingley didn't play. He sat out. So it was a mess last year at LSU. It was just a complete mess. Did Max Johnson get some reps last season as well? Or am I going crazy? I think he got some reps last season, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll see, LSU. You're going to the Rose Bowl. Hopefully UCLA can have more fans than they had last game. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so he did get some reps. Okay, that's what I thought. He beat Florida. He did beat Florida last year. Oh, I remember that game. Now things are coming to me, Matt. Thank you, Spicy Queso. I appreciate it. But that's it for this week's show. I sent my prayers out. Everybody dealing with Hurricane Ida, the aftermath, New York, here in Philadelphia, Louisiana. Oh, my goodness, Louisiana. Oh, man. Overseas, there's a lot of things going on overseas as well. Man, just the world in general. I just want to send a huge prayer out to the world in general. That's the best way I can categorize it, because there's just so much going on. Also, like I said, Nick will be here next week. We'll be talking about a lot of WNBA things, WNBA, because there's going to be a lot of movement here in this next week or so. It's about 5 to 6 games left. Some teams have 4, some teams have 5, some teams have 6. There's action going on tonight for the WNBA. Guys, check that out. 4 games. College football is on right now. Check that out. The NFL starts back next week. We got Brady. We got Dak. I don't know who to cheer for, because I'm a huge Tom Brady fan. And, of course, I'm a Cowboys fan living in Philadelphia. Shh, don't tell anybody. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do there. But these 2 sponsors I want to get into before I wrap up. Teespring.com/store/unwrapped. Get your Unwrapped Sports Network gear there. All the live lineups have gear. Ladies First has gear. Backstop Banter has gear. Count the Bucket is working on getting gear. I've been so busy here lately. Perry's been busy. Michael's been busy. We haven't been able to put that together, but we will. Yeah, we're going to get that together. So check out teespring.com/store/unwrapped. Also, patreon.com/unwrapped sports. $1 a month. You're just a general fan. $5 a month. You become part of the family. You get 10% off the Teespring store, and you get all access to the Discord chat. $10 a month, VIP, 20% off the Teespring shop, all access to the Discord chat, and you get put in a running for some memorabilia. I'm not sure what it's going to be this month. I wasn't sure what it was last month. I don't know if Perry put that out or not, but check that out, patreon.com/unwrapped sports. Matt said, how about them Cowboys? I have them going 11-6 and winning the division. I do too. I have them winning the division, and I have them going 11-6. I think they have the best quarterback in the division. The defense, I have to see about the defense, but I think they have the best offense in the division. If they can just get stops when they need them, I think they'll be okay. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next week. Thank you, Matt, for the comment section, and I will see you guys next week. Oh, Count the Bucket will be this Saturday with Michael Lawson. Michael Lawson and I will be doing Count the Bucket this Saturday. We're going to do top 10. I think we're going to do top 10 by position. So we're going to do top 10 point guards, shooting guards, power forward, small forwards, power forwards, and centers. They put out a list on Twitter, and I think I took pictures of all of it. They're putting out top 10 lists by position. So we're going to probably do our own. I don't know how many we're going to do, because I don't want it to be a super long show. I just want it to be about an hour. So we might be able to only do 2 positions, then do the next 2, and then do another position another week. But we're going to do top 10, and we're going to talk about some NBA news, because some NBA news has happened. I just don't talk about it much on here because I have Count the Bucket. But I will see you guys on Saturday for Count the Bucket. That'll be 9 Central, 10 Eastern. I am Eastern now. Oh, boy. And Ladies First will be 7 Central, 5 Pacific, and 8 Eastern next week. Thank you guys so much.